Our purpose for tonight is going to be discovering how to live a purpose-driven life. The value of a man's life, the quality of a man's life is locked up in his ability to walk according to his purpose. The quality of a man's life doesn't depend on the cars he has, it doesn't depend on the houses he has, although all of that is very, very important. But that is not all that there is. Purpose is not just all about, it's something that is within, something that is connected to your inside. Nothing that is of the outside can be able to fill that spot, that space, that only purpose can be able to fill. You are going to notice in this life that we are living, there are actually things that have distracted us, and we are going to begin to debunk each and every one of them. We're going to begin to understand why there are these things that we cannot comprehend. At every moment we feel distracted, at every moment. We're going to see the root causes, and as we start tonight, there are 2 to 3 things that are going to happen to you. You are going to understand what it takes to live in purpose. You are going to see whether you have been missing out, where you have been missing out, and how you can be able to correct it. And this is all going to avoid you wastage of time. It is going to avoid you messing up here and there, so that you can be able to maximize your life and time on earth. Here is it actually. You know, we are created in a world where we are not the ones that design it. We are all aware, right? We are not the ones that design this world that we are inside, but we are living in this world. We are actually living in this world, and there are things that have been designed to make us to take a particular direction or to move in a particular way by default. You see, we begin to understand that institutions, people have come in place that were there before us. They came in place and they said, let us build something that is going to distract the rest of the people and cause them to be enslaved in one way or the other. That is the first thing. We are going to now see that this is a deception. This is a big deception to mankind. That in order to fulfill your purpose, you are going to require 3 things: knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And for you to be able to have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you need time to be able to build that capacity. And you need focus. Focus is equals to attention, the attention you pay in order to get the value, which is knowledge. You grow in wisdom, grow in knowledge, grow in understanding. And most of the people are actually preoccupied with earning a living rather than actually living. Most people are actually bothered about living, and this thing that I talked about at the beginning is called social engineering. What is social engineering, you ask yourself? It is a design by default that causes you to be able to go in a particular direction, desired direction, not the one that is going to be favorable for you, not the one that is going to be favorable for your life, but the one that is going to be favorable for whosoever designed it, because it helps them become richer, it helps them make more money. You know, the founding of school, the founding of academia, it was designed in such a way that the society in general, but it was designed in such a way that you have to go to school, yes, which is very important, and school is going to keep you busy, and you think that your life, every day of your life, it has to revolve around school, assignments, education, the teacher, and as a result you never think outside yourself, you never think outside academics, you never think that there is something more to this life, you never really pay much attention to think that there is something more to this life, just outside academics, and you use all your time, energy, and resources to get the certificate. After that, you get the certificate, what next? You graduate and you find yourself in a situation where you are beginning to wonder, was this all I was here to do? That is the first and primary design of the society that we live in. It is designed by default to keep you busy at the first stage of your life. which is going to school. Of course, school is important, don't get me wrong. The next stage, which is after now that you have gotten a job or something that you can be able to do, let me just call it the hustle culture. You are now working. It keeps you busy every morning, every afternoon, every evening. You go to work 9 to 5, and then you come back exhausted, very tired, looking very tired, helpless, and you go to bed. After you wake up the next day, you repeat the same process again. You keep going morning, you keep going in the morning, coming back in the evening, and at the end of the day you sit down and wonder, you are really frustrated, that is this all what my life is all about? Then you have very little time, extremely little time, to really focus on becoming a better person, to really focus on living a purpose-driven life. You have very little time to really sit down and work on yourself so that you can become that purpose-driven guy, that purpose-driven lady. And don't get me wrong, is school important? Yes, it is important. Is work important? Yes, it is important. Am I saying that not really relevant? That's a big no. That's a big no. All of them are important, unless you can be able to decipher whether the work or the school that you are doing has become a distraction or something that is not really going to guide you towards getting towards your purpose. You cannot be able to maximize your staying at school or your staying at work. This is something that you need to understand. I need to know that for you to be able to go to school, you require these two systems that have been put in place. One postgraduate, one undergraduate, another one postgraduate. Now that primary, that is the first 20 to 25 years of your life. That is the stage where you have to really be discovering purpose. But these systems keep you occupied with occupied to the point where you don't really pay much attention. There is a big trap and there is a big danger to this. If you are following, I want you to drop a comment. Or invite somebody from the group. Tell them that we are active, tell them that you are live. Just take a screenshot and tell them that we are already active, you are live. Invite them. So you are going to notice there is something very important that I would love to draw our attention to. So you're going to see that another form of social engineering is a society that has actually been designed to make you spend your time doing unproductive things and to also distract you from focusing on your purpose. This is the second type of social engineering. The first type was to make you spend your first 25 years, your first 30 years of your life wondering whether you're going to, wandering between work, school, home, all of these kind of things. Then you see that in this age there is a lot of noise. What is noise? I'm sure a lot of you are asking yourself, what is noise? These are the things that actually come in to distract you from paying attention. It feels good, it feels entertaining, it feels urgent at times, but it pulls you away from aligning yourself to your inner nudges, from aligning yourself to that calling that is inside. Sometimes you might have an idea, but noise comes in the forms of distraction. Noise comes in the forms of things that seem good, things that begin to pull your attention. This is what noise is all about. And you notice there are three main types of noise. You're going to see how necessary it is for you to understand what can stop you from discovering your purpose, so that you can be able to discover it and work in it. Number one, the first type of noise that I came to notice that is so dangerous is people's opinions. People are going to tell you that, no, you know, you are good at this, so just do it. So this might really incline you to a different direction which you shouldn't be going. The next thing is your job and the hustle culture. You go from 9 to 5. All you have in mind is making the cars, securing the bag, making the money. It's important, but it has its place. The next type of noise is content media overload. Content and media overload. When you go online, you keep scrolling morning, afternoon, evening. You just wonder what your life is all about. You just keep scrolling. You cannot turn left and right without seeing something that is going to draw your attention. And let's look at why people never fulfill their purpose. Number one, it's discouragement. People get discouraged. That you think that you just give up. People just get up and give up on life. They just give up. They say there's nothing about this life. You're just so tired of trying that you just don't want to live again. You feel there is nothing more to this life. You feel like if there's any other thing better than death, if there's any other thing like death, let it just come and sweep me. That is the mentality so many are working with. You feel overwhelmed by the circumstances of life, and as a result, you lose the enthusiasm to keep pushing. You say you don't want to pursue, let's say, the things that make you feel fulfilled. You no longer want to pursue the things that are of benefit to you. You don't want to pursue your personal development, because these are the things that give you the fulfillment, make you feel better in life. You say no, you don't want it because of the discouragement that you have already hit. Now, another thing that disrupts people is distraction. Another reason people never fulfill their purpose is because of distraction. What is distraction? You spend all your time scrolling on social media. The moment I've come to notice, social media is engineered in such a way that the moment you scroll the first video, you want to skip scrolling. And there are so many social media platforms. You have Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube, a lot of social media platforms. YouTube Shorts now have just killed it. You have so many things that hold your attention, and it is so much designed. They intentionally pay the engineers to really figure out ways that are going to keep you scrolling. That is the weight of the distraction that this generation is going through, this generation is facing. You spend all your time, for whom it may concern, you spend all your time clubbing, partying, pursuing women, and you see that these things are beginning to pull you away from that inner voice, that little voice that is telling you that you shouldn't go that direction, that little voice that is telling you that this thing that you're doing, this is your life path, take a different life path from this. You see, you never write down ideas that come into your mind. You never give yourself the time to really think about it. You get carried away by the next flashy thing. The next phone wants to come out, you are out for it. The next shoe, the next dress, everything, every flashy thing, it just carries your mind away. Doesn't mean they are bad, no, but doesn't mean that doesn't mean they are bad. It is very important to have them, but why should you have them when you don't know why you should have them? Knowing why sometimes is more important than experiencing something you don't know why, or having something you don't know why you have it, because you are going to inevitably abuse it. So you see, as a result, you never have time for what is really truly valuable. You never really create time. It doesn't really strike a chord in you that this thing that is on the inside of me, calling me that I should do this, giving me this idea, you never pay attention to it. The third reason people never fulfill or work in purpose is fear. You are going to see this is the fear that has been keeping a lot of people bound for so many years. You have an idea or your purpose, but you are afraid. You are afraid of making a bold move, a bold step. You are afraid of what people will say. You are afraid of you're afraid of failure. You are afraid of what people are going to think about you. You are afraid of people casting their fears on you. You have never seen somebody do what you want to do, but you are afraid of what they are going to say. That is something you shouldn't overpay attention to if you really want to live purpose, if you really want to live a purpose-driven life. As a result, you never do anything about the things, the nudges, You never do anything about that internal pulling that is inside of you, telling you that this is, you should go in this direction, do this, do this, do this. The next reason people never fulfill purpose or work in their purpose is external validation. What is external validation? This happens a lot with people who have a certain level of success already. You see, you look for outward factors. People that have outward factors like cars, achievements, they have things that they can look back to and say, I have done something significant in my life. At least the society's way or matrix of measuring success, that is what they have. They have the cars, they have the achievements, they have the success, the houses, the networks, the establishments, all of these things, they have it. But it doesn't directly translate to you having purpose. You see, many people have been blinded by these forms of success, and they think that having the business, the cars, the career, a flourishing business means that you have accomplished purpose. No, it doesn't directly translate to that. And you see, as a result, you ignore the little voice inside you. You don't really want to pay attention to anything except the ones that you already have, the achievements. You are carried away by the achievement. You see, you have no sense of urgency, which is number 5 reason why people never fulfill or work in purpose. No sense of urgency. What is urgency? Urgency is the time, pressure, awareness, the ability to act based on time and the urgency of the matter, the ability to act on a situation, to act on a goal, to get an outcome. Tell yourself that you are going to get this outcome within this particular period of time, and it is not going to last. People always procrastinate. They keep procrastinating each and every time. That is a sign of a lack of urgency. The default response of most of the people that lack urgency is that they say, I'll do it later. It's not that they don't have the time to do it now. They don't have the enthusiasm. They don't feel that not doing it now might fail to create an opportunity for them to do something greater later. You see, some they have a diminished internal drive to act promptly. As you can see, they don't want to act promptly, like taking action. You say you have an idea, yes, what is the first thing to do? You have already done it. What is the thing that I have to gather? What is the kind of information I need? You take action on it, you have gone. You see, as a result, most of these people, they never get prepared. You never get prepared for opportunities. This is one thing that you need to understand. If you are in this category, one thing I would recommend is begin to see yourself, begin to change the things that are not giving you that sense of urgency. Begin to understand the things that cause you to be afraid. Understand the things that cause you to get discouraged. Understand the things that cause fear, and then begin to correct them one after the other. The next reason, which is the last, is lack of curiosity. The reason why people never fulfill their purpose or work or have a purpose-driven life. It is lack of curiosity. They never think. They have a diminishing interest in exploring and learning. Have you seen people that there's something that they should learn from, but they never bother to ask any questions? Have you ever seen those kind of guys? You see that it's really disturbing. If you are in this category, notice that this is a major key for you to be able to discover your purpose. That is a major key. If you have to discover your purpose, you understand that you need the aspect of curiosity. You need to build the aspect of curiosity. You need little information. You need to ask questions, exploring the unknown. That is the beauty, because you cannot discover something. They cannot say it is purpose discovery, and you are not eager, you are not curious enough to ask questions. You cannot call it purpose discovery or working a purpose-driven life, and you are not curious enough to ask what is purpose. What is purpose? How can I discover purpose? How does it manifest? What are the first things that I need to know in order to walk in purpose? What are the signs that I am walking in purpose? What are the manifestations of a purpose-driven person? How do this kind of people usually live? You see, you continue to pay, that is, you continue to play safe. This one is so dangerous. You see, you feel you have a lot of time, you feel you have all the opportunities. It's a little bit close to people who are in the category of, let's say, they never have a sense of urgency. They always play safe. You have a low engagement to conversations. You get into rooms, you have the opportunity to meet people, you have the opportunity to meet mentors, you have the opportunity to interact with people. You don't care. You don't ask questions about people. You don't want to know about people. You don't want to know about things around you. You never question anything. That is, you are quick to accept surface level explanation. You never go deep into the things that you never ask questions to know deeply, profoundly, in order to understand profoundly the reason for A, B, C. You never really bother. And this thing is really going to shrink the size of your world. It's going to shrink how much you can be able to accomplish in life, because you need enough information in order to achieve big in life. Because how much you have, how much information you have, is directly proportional to how much you can be able to do. So you need so much information about who you are becoming, about what purpose is really, before you can be able to fulfill purpose. Let's dive in. We're going to take an example very soon, so keep following. We are getting to the end. You see, in the business world, for example, I don't know, most of us here, we do business. If you are doing business, or if you do business, I want you to type the type of business that you do, then I see that. So you see, we have in the business world, notice this analogy very well. People are going to have an idea. Example, Amazon, he had an idea to sell to every nation, that is, he wanted to make it in such a way that anytime you think about online shopping, you think about Amazon. That is the idea that he had. So what he did was, he needed to provide a solution. That was the problem. No supply chain, things were not going well with things. People were having a lot of difficulty getting goods outsourced. So he said that I'm coming in to provide the solution. How? Amazon. Or you see, I'm coming in to solve the problem of social media connection or networking. How? Through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through Instagram. So you see, after that you have found a solution, now the solution gives you a reward. How? Through profit, through dividends. These kind of things are the things that are the kind of rewards that come with it. So you see, the next thing is the more problems you solve, the bigger the size of the problem that you can solve, the greater the amount of money or the earnings that you have. So you see, no matter the profit of your business, it's always directly proportional to the size of the problem that you can be able to solve. So now let's flip this into a direction of purpose. How does this apply to purpose? I'm sure you're asking yourself. In the context of purpose discovery, that is the first stage. You are going to notice you have a pursuit. You are going to notice that you have a pain point. You have a problem, something that is causing you anger in you, holy anger, let me call it that, or righteous anger, let me call it that way. Like, you don't like to see certain kind of things around you. You get angry when you see some situation. You have a burden, or you feel drawn to something, that there is something about ABC that whenever you see it, it begins to draw you or pull your attention, that you cannot stop thinking about it for the next 1 month, 2 months, 1 year. That is, anytime you sit to talk about it, it's only that thing that is coming out of your mouth. Always take note. Here are some examples. Let me just break it down a little bit. You see, people, you see someone with an unusual desire to encourage, that is to encourage the young men, to build the young men, an unusual desire to make them, to mentor them, to make them go into a particular direction, to make them responsible in life, that is an indicator of purpose. You need to take note of all of this. If you are finding yourself in any of these categories, or if you are finding something unique about you, something very specific about you that you think that falls within this category, I would like you to take a pen, I would like you to take a piece of paper right now, write it down. You are going to understand why it is important at the end of the day. So you see, you have an unusual desire to teach women to live a life of purity, to mentor women to how to build businesses, to do things in a specific kind of way. That is, it is very unique to you. Whenever you see a lady that she's living a careless life, you don't like it, you are always angered by it. You are not related, you are not relatives, but you don't just like to see someone just living casually. That is an indicator of purpose. If you want to live a purpose-driven life, you need to take note of these things. If you have a pen and paper, write it down. Write it down. Make sure you note it. If you notice an unusual love for children, this is for especially for ladies who notice an unusual love for children. Children easily interact with them. They like coming around them. They like whenever they are around them, they feel safe, they feel calm, they feel protected. This is an indicator of purpose. You are going to see why it's important. And another example, a natural ability to simplify complex ideas and an obsession with seeing others grow. Have you seen people that it's very easy for them? Everybody is struggling with a particular situation, but whenever they come into that scene, they come into that environment, it's like automatically the solution comes. They say our solution has come. If you are that kind of person, I would like you to indicate there is something, a particular kind of grace that you carry towards, and that grace is an indication of the kind of calling, the kind of purpose that you have. You are going to see sometimes you can see someone can just approach you, strangers from nowhere, and start telling you their secrets, start telling you the things that they are going through in life. That is an indicator that you have what it takes to be a solution to them, and that is a sign of your purpose. You need to take note of this. If you are going through all of these things that I'm mentioning, if you are having signs of this that are of the things that I'm mentioning, you need to make sure that you don't neglect these little signs, because that's the deepest part of you. That's their soul calling for relevance. It wants attention, it craves for attention, and if you don't give it that attention, you will try by all means to outsource it from all the other areas, maybe through other external forms of successes, and it's really dangerous, because if purpose is not fulfilled in your lifetime, there is nothing you can do about it. You're going to see that what should you do when you notice these nudges. You're asking yourself the question, whenever I notice that I feel like I should just mentor these guys, whenever I feel like I should just help these ladies, whenever I feel like no, I should open an orphanage, whenever I feel like I should take care of these children, whenever I feel like I should call these guys and tell them the right way to live, whenever you begin to feel these kind of things, what should you do? Number one, you need to write it down. Write it down. Take a piece of paper, jot it down, dedicate a book specifically for it. You need to give it a thought, like really sit down and think about it. Why is it that I feel this way? I was with a group of people and they do not feel the same way I felt. Why is it that it is only me that felt like that? Ask yourself these questions. You're going to understand that you begin to dig deep into who you are becoming, into who you are supposed to become. That is purpose revelation. Purpose being revealed. It is revealed because you don't know it. The next thing is you have to take action. Take action. act on it. You have an idea of you want to start up an orphanage, take action. It is very important for the next thing for you to do to come to you. You need to take action on the current thing that you have to do. I repeat, for you to receive the instruction or the nudge for the next thing to do, you need to do what you have actually. If not, the moment you begin to neglect these little signs, you are going to notice that the ones that you currently have is going to start fading. You will stop receiving them. You stop until you start paying attention to it. It is not going to come further. It is not going to come further. And the next thing you need to do is to structure it. Structure it. How do you mean? You can formulate a plan around it. You say, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to work on it like this. Okay, how can I automatically take action on this thing? That is based on structure. You need to structure it properly, and also notice the frequency at which these things begin to come and the circumstances under which they come. These things are very important data, let me call them like that. Very important data for your life, for your own life, for your own destiny. If you need to live a purpose-driven life, you need to understand these things are not just casual manifestations. They are not casual. They are there as indicators of who you are becoming, or who you have to become. How to know it is actually your purpose? One, back to our analogy that we had earlier, that you have an idea, you implement the idea. The third thing is that you begin to have profit from it. You see, the way purpose begins to profit you, the way purpose begins to reward you, is that you get enough, you get fulfillment from it, you find peace from it. I hope you are saying properly. You get fulfillment from it, you find peace from it, and you cannot exchange. You don't want to exchange that feeling that comes whenever you do that one thing that makes you feel like, that one thing that makes you feel like you are working in your purpose, that you are already doing something towards working in your purpose. You don't want to exchange that feeling for anything else. It is the satisfaction. It's called fulfillment. Money cannot buy it. That is one thing. No matter how many cars, it can never buy that fulfillment. And you have more clarity on the next thing to do. You have more clarity. Potentials are beginning to unlock. You are beginning to know why I have this skill. I have this skill and this skill. You begin to know where to best apply those skills, how to best use those skills, because now you have clarity on why they are there. Because your potential is directed by your purpose. Whenever you have potential, there is a purpose for the potential. It is to help you fulfill your purpose. Your potential is not just there. You know how to sing, you know how to dance, you have a desire for children. All of this put in one person. It doesn't mean all is your purpose. You now begin to understand that one is going to help you better function as a purpose-driven person, as somebody working in purpose. You see, so you're going to say you use your gift and potential more effectively. Yeah, we have already talked about that. Then you become strangely unstoppable. Have you ever had that energy? You see, I've done this, it has worked. This is my purpose, I will not stop. You have that energy, it's coming, it's there. Then you do not think that is money. It doesn't matter to you. As long as that thing is there, money doesn't matter. You can do it without payment. You don't need to be paid to get it done. You have intense, sustained passion. Ignite within you. Something like a fire that is set inside of you, that you have to fulfill that purpose. Go for it, go for it, go for it. This is very important, guys. Very, very important. Very important. Very important. I would like that before we finish this session, just make sure that you invite someone, tell them that we are actually active, that we are online, we are live. send them the link. For somebody that you see who wants to discover his purpose in life, send them the link. Make sure you tell them that we are here and we are ready to make them, to show them how to live a purpose-driven life. Yeah, it's very important. Purpose is the number one most important thing. In my personal life, this thing that I'm doing, I don't need to be paid for it. I don't need money for it. What I'm currently doing is my purpose. What I'm currently doing, I don't need money. I don't need to get motivated. I don't need things that are going to say, no, those kind of things, I don't really need them too much, because I have the energy for it, because it's my purpose already. You are going to notice whenever I begin to have this thing called purpose, whenever I begin to have the things that are begin to manifest as purpose in your life, like, you need to ask yourself these questions. How do you know it is actually your purpose? Number one, we are going to explore it. Your purpose is that dream that won't leave you, the passion that won't quit, the idea that is consistent, persistent, and won't go away. Guys, if you have had an experience like this, you should be very careful to pay attention to it, because if you neglect it, you have forgone a huge part of you. There's one thing, there are only two important days of your life: the day that you were born and the day that you discover why you were born. The day you discover why you were born is the day you discover your purpose. Until you discover why, how to live, where to live, it's not going to be of any significance, because you don't know why. You don't know why. You don't know why. For example, this is a microphone here. This is a mic. I don't know if you are seeing it very well. This is a mic. Microphone. This is it attached here. Imagine I start using this microphone. The purpose of this mic is for me to record using my phone. It is small, it is very portable, very comfortable to use. Imagine I carry this mic and now go to a studio with it, that I want to record music with it. Is that the purpose of it? You're seeing that the shape, the size, the structuring, the morphology, everything around it is directed towards making it better, towards helping it achieve its function better. You see, the next thing you need to ask yourself is, what makes you angry? The thing that makes you angry. What are those things that whenever you see, you are so uncomfortable? You are so uncomfortable. It makes you so angry. That is, you have this holy anger, righteous anger within you. Anger, not that you want to beat somebody, but towards wanting to change the situation. A lot of people have had this ignition of fire in them because of they understood that this situation that I'm angry about, I need to do something, and they did something about it. They noticed the calm, the relief that came as a result of them fulfilling their purpose, of them doing that thing, and then they noticed that I have seen my purpose. This is it. I have to do it again and again and again and again. No man that has lived a relevant life on earth has failed to discover purpose. No man. All of them have had a significant impact are people that have discovered their purpose. They say, what comes easily to you but hard to others? Ask yourself this question. If you have a pen and paper, write them down. What are the things that comes easily to you but others find it hard to get? What are the things that you can do with ease? What are the things that you understand very easily but others find it hard? Begin to notice. Write down the answers of these things, and you're going to notice that these are going to be pointers to what your purpose is all about. These are going to be pointers. And don't forget the examples I give above. Make sure that you go and follow them again. Make sure, I'm going to send this recording again to the group so you can follow it whenever you have time. Even the last one is ready. It's a The next thing you need to ask yourself is, what would you do if you weren't paid? For example, if nobody pays you for doing what you are doing, if money was never an issue, are you going to do it till you die? Are you still going to be happy doing that thing? Guys, purpose is very important. Purpose is very, very, very important. Purpose is very important. We live in a world full of noise, full of chaos, full of all sorts of things that are there specifically to distract us from our purpose-driven lives. But we need to tell those things no. We have to walk in purpose. We need to live purpose-driven lives. That is the thing that is defining our relevance on earth. Purpose-driven life is the most important thing. The most important gift you can give yourself is not a car. Cars are important, but a car without a purpose is as good as nothing. It's as good as a stone. You need to discover the purpose of your life first. Then every other thing is going to help. It's just going to, you notice, life will be easy. Life will be easy. Purpose helps you to make better decisions on even who to marry, what to do, where to live, the kind of company you should keep, the kind of friends you should have around you, the kind of destination that you have. Purpose gives you a knowledge, a deep insight. That is one of the things that eliminate distractions, that eliminate confusion. If you need direction and you haven't found direction, one of the reasons might be because you haven't discovered your purpose. If you are confused about a lot of things in your life, one of the reasons might be because you need to discover your purpose. Purpose is so important, guys. Purpose is so important. Your purpose is to the point where no matter where you are, your purpose is not going to disappear. You can still, no matter where you go, no matter how you feel, you still want to do that thing that is called your purpose. It is so important. So important. So important. So let's live a purpose-driven life. I want you to tell yourself today, I want you to make this declaration: I am living a purpose-driven life. I am living a purpose-driven life. I am going to live a purpose-driven life. Make this declaration today. Make this declaration to yourself. Teach yourself that there is nothing that is going to distract me from living my purpose-driven life. There is nothing that is going to cause me to walk away from that life that is causing me to feel the fulfillment or to have fulfillment. Purpose-driven life is the best thing, the best thing, the best thing, the best thing that you can ever do. You need to walk in purpose. You need to walk in purpose. Yeah, for last day, I'm seeing your comment. Purpose-driven life, living a purpose-driven life. That is the best thing. That is the best thing. And you notice, the moment you even live a purpose-driven life, right, it's going to help you marry the right partner. That is the number one thing when it comes to finding a partner. Your purpose helps you find the right partner for you. For example, you are going to the airport. You need to go to a destination called US, for example. That is your destination. That is your, let's call it AKA your purpose. Then you meet somebody at the park. The person is going, you meet somebody at the airport rather. The person is going to a place called London, and you are going to the US. You can't tell that person that, can you keep me in the US before you go to London? You are not going to the same destination. You don't have the same destination. That is how important purpose is. Purpose-driven life. Guys, I'm so happy that we are all able to gather here tonight. It's very important. So I'm going to be taking 1 or 2 questions when it comes to purpose. Then we are going to, based on what we have discussed tonight, to help us understand our purpose better. I'm going to be taking one or two questions. Whosoever is ready with the questions can unmute. If you are writing down the things that you could ask, you can unmute and ask so that you can help somebody. Are we there?
Hello?
Yeah.
I don't know the time that you have here, but here is the afternoon.
Oh, it's afternoon.
So don't say yes. No, good afternoon. No, good evening. My question is, I have one question.
Yeah.
Why am I know that my purpose life? I don't want to know that is my purpose. Exactly. That is my purpose life. Why am I doing that? Yes.
Okay.
You say your purpose driven life or something like that.
Okay.
But how am I know that is my purpose driven life?
Okay. That is a very important question. How do you know specifically what your purpose is? I think I can also reframe your question in that kind of way. So if you want to know specifically what your purpose is, as we gave the different ways to explore your purpose, you need to first of all write down the things that actually catch your interest. As you begin to write them down, as you begin to note them one after the other, you are going to notice that it is going to connect with other things about you. You are not going to discover your purpose in a single day. It begins with you being intentional. It is not a one-day thing. You understand, right? It's not a one-day thing. It's something that you're going to have to be intentional about. That you say, 2 weeks ago, when I approached this child, I felt this particular way. I felt like to help this child. I felt pity for this child. So you come back 5 months after, you see another child in the same situation, same condition. You say, I feel like I want to help this child. I want to do this thing. I want to, that is anything that you have noticed that is pulling you towards something. Begin to write that thing down. Then you take action. The best thing that you can do, try acting on the first things that you have. Like try saying, interact with it. Give it some time, interact with it. You get to ask. For example, I don't know specifically what you might have as an experience, but I can tell you that any experience that you have, begin to have questions that you are willing to ask about it. Approach people so that the moment that you are getting the information, it is now making you clearer. It is not giving you clearer direction. It is not giving you a better perspective about what you should do, better understanding about what your purpose is. So I believe that is going to go a long way to help you, because what you have at the beginning is just indicators, signs. You get signs, you get experiences that are similar across different platforms, maybe different places and different times. You experience one particular thing. Note those things down. Try to pay attention to it, so that at the end of the day, when you come back, you say, my purpose might be to open an orphanage because I feel I have a tremendous sympathy for children who don't have homes. I have a sympathy, I have a passion for children who don't have people to take care of them. You begin to see how this thing works, right?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Yeah, so that is how it is. Make sure that as from today you're really intentional. It works like that. It works. It really works. It is not a one-day thing. That's step by step. For last Saturday, Yeah. So I'm seeing another question. How do you manage with purpose that is not giving a financial benefit? Purpose that is not giving a financial benefit. One thing that we have to understand when it comes to purpose is that purpose is tied to vision. Purpose is like the destination. Vision is the blueprint, the roadmap that is going to help you to get there. Like you have a vision to get to that place. And one thing that you should understand is that all visions, every vision comes with a provision. Every vision. Somebody is going to see you, you want to feed an orphanage. You don't have the resources, you just reach out 1, 2, 3 people because you have the passion to talk about it. Then they tell you that, okay, we are going to sponsor what you want to do. That's the provision that comes with it, as long as it is genuine, it's coming from your heart. I hope you understand that, Fulasade.
Yes.
Yeah. So one thing you need to understand is purpose, and something with regards to purpose is you can do it no matter the conditions that you are found in, because you are not doing it for money, but you understand, you still understand that it is something that has the ability to provide for itself, because it is that God-given desire for you, God's plan implanted in you for you to fulfill, for you to walk in. That is what purpose is all about. So another question is, what is the difference between talent, gifts, and purpose? Your gift, you can be multi-talented. You can sing, you can dance, you can you can speak very well. You can really speak very well. But all of those things, maybe you might just be doing them because you are good at doing them. Yeah, it doesn't mean that that is your purpose, right? But you are going to notice at some given point, you will want to use that particular gift, that particular talent, that particular, that is in French they call it don, that gift, to achieve something with it specifically. That is, now the gifts are going to be channeled towards something more specific, more specific. It is not going to be like you just want to walk around, you just want to sing, you just want to dance. It is now going to be channeled towards something more specific. But the fact that you are multi-talented, it doesn't mean that all those talents is your purpose. You need to notice that you are going to be distracted by a lot of talents. If you are too talented, if you are having a lot of talent, that is, people that are multi-talented, we know. But it doesn't mean that every talent that you have is your purpose. But the talents that you have will help you fulfill your purpose better. That is what is going to help you work better in your purpose. So I hope your question is answered. Yes, as you have written, using your gifts, talents to fulfill your purpose. That is the thing that will help you fulfill your purpose. For example, I gave an example of this, right? This is my microphone, my wireless mic. So my mic, it is not a studio quality mic like the one that you used to sing. So you see that the size of this, naturally you understand that it is for the phone. You can see this is it here. So that is the functionality. Very portable. I can carry it with it anywhere. You understand? So consider maybe this is your gift, but it doesn't mean that you can function as a studio mic. So you need to see that your gift, how you are, your talent is just a pointer to help you to say, now I can use my talent to serve a greater calling, to serve a greater, something bigger. That is, your purpose is something that you don't live for yourself, it's something you live for others. That's you now beginning to pour yourself for others to benefit. Your purpose doesn't benefit you alone, it benefits others. So now you begin to use this talent for the benefiting of other people. So I believe you're okay with it, right? It's phenomenal, TJ. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm so grateful that we all could make it tonight. So one thing that you do for me, please, just get into the group, tell them what you have learned, type what you have learned, type what you understood about purpose, and it is going to encourage somebody who wasn't here tonight to be able to attend the next time. That is one thing that you can do, and it's really going to encourage somebody. It's really going to encourage someone. So we have come to the end of this program. I believe as from tonight you are going to be able to live a purpose-driven life. Never neglect that little gift that you have. Never neglect that gift that you have, because you will help it will help you to fulfill your purpose. Hone it till you have become very good at it. Become very good at it. Everything that you thought to do, decide that you're going to become good at it. Be intentional about discovering your purpose. Write it down every time. Make sure you always note it down. Then you begin to notice the patterns. It occurs here, it occurs there, it occurs there and there. So now I can say with confidence, this is now 90% the inclination that I have to my purpose. You begin to feel that fulfillment, have that fulfillment that this is my purpose. So I'm grateful, so grateful for everyone who could make it. Aban, Emmanuel, James, my brother, Anastasia, you're welcome. Folasade, welcome. Aisha, Rani, Karel, Jofang, you're welcome. Kim Njoya, you're welcome. Lumumba, thank you for being part of us. Margaret Queen, you're welcome. Nerus Menjo, you're welcome. Mr. James, Mr. Wesley, you guys are welcome. Thank you very much for being there. Thank you. I really appreciate. The recording will be ready. Thank you. Just drop your comments in the group, what you learned, how you work in purpose, what you are going to do as from today to begin to work in your purpose, to be intentional about it, and it's going to help somebody.